Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's try and make another video. So things have changed a little bit. The charts are still holding up, but things have changed a little bit. Obviously, to do with the things that are going on in the world, the news, stuff like that. So, these things are always going to make a market move one way or another. And the thing about a chart or using technical analysis is that it can't predict global events. It just can't. And so as a result of that, we had a move up, and since then we've obviously come all the way down. Now, based on the 1 hourly chart, this is all part of that fresh golden cross 200 exponential retest. 106,600, we'll call it 5 or 600. And so that's where we are for Bitcoin on the 1 hourly. If you move it over to the 4 hourly, it's still reasonable. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be looking at complaining about this pullback. If there wasn't anything going on in the world, I'd look at this as an okay scenario. Not particularly bothered about what we're seeing here. 21 exponential hit right here, and then we can still move down a little bit. 106,100. And that's your 4 hourly center of a Bollinger Band as well. So I mean, it's still structurally okay. Not really a problem with it. And to be honest, even with that, we are getting quite close to the green portion of the cloud. These are all parts of the pump signal that we're looking to see. If of course we can get it. So yesterday we had obviously the trend signal still in play on the weekly. We recognise that. The 4 hourly we're waiting for. Also, we were waiting for the daily as well. So we're still waiting for certain aspects of a chart to fire off when it comes to further signals on the Ichimoku cloud. We've got the positive cross here. We're above the cloud. Chiku span is still within the price action, and as we said yesterday, in order for it to get it immediately, you need to close above 112. But as the days and weeks go on, the Chiku span has a chance to break. We just don't want to see a negative cross. But daily, we're still waiting for that trend signal. We've not got it yet. It was unlikely that we were going to get it between yesterday and today. There is a chance that we'll be getting it, over the next over the next week or so. It all depends on where the price action sits. And based on the daily at the moment, similar to the 4 hourly, we're kind of sitting at support. 21 exponential, 106,200, and a 20 simple, 106,000, we'll call it. So not much different to yesterday's scenario. The only difference is that there's stuff going on behind this chart which will have an effect on the market. And like I said, it's unfortunate that we can't predict these things because the chart obviously is just a reflection of price, volume, and time, and not the minds of leaders globally. There is no real indicator for that. Well, it might be, but not one that we would recognize that you could overlay onto a financial chart, really. So that is the situation with Bitcoin. Very much the same as yesterday, but at least this time we're more or less after support. So whether or not you choose to take advantage of that support, it's up to you. You can if you wish. You don't need to if you don't want to. It's absolutely up to you. I understand that to be honest with you, I base a lot of my trading around not global events, but what I call the trading environment. Some trading environments carry less risk, some carry more risk. So the bear market of 2022, once it was confirmed, we recognised it was a bear market. The risk was obviously much higher in spot positions and long positions. We were able to do a few big swings, that was okay. But generally, you didn't want to be in a position for very long. A few days, maybe a couple of weeks at best. At the moment, I still think the overall trading environment is favourable based on the the 4 year cycle, the situation with the dollar, and general sort of decent liquidity, lowering of rates as inflation continues to generally drip down. However, I do expect the next CPI to actually see inflation rise. That's only because oil's going up. Obviously, because oil's going up as a result of what's going on globally. So everything has a knock-on effect. You know what I mean? We're trying to build a house here on shaky ground. The house might stand for a little while, but given enough time, not likely to stand up for a while. It's not, you're not building it on bedrock. It's more like peat, sand, or clay, or something like that. Listen to me, I'm not an architect. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying though, as an analogy. We're trying to build positions and expect a financial, well, a Bitcoin market cycle to hold up in the face of what could be. Well, I don't want to say it, but things are a little sketchy right now. Anyway, that aside, at the moment we are at support. So if we just focus on the chart itself, yeah, we've moved up yesterday. Now we've come down to support. You buy the support, you sell a resistance. You buy the support, you sell a resistance. That is trading. If you're still looking to the big hodl, which obviously I'm a massive hodler, um, yeah, the same things apply. This is a really pretty bullish chart as it stands currently, right? As it stands currently, cheeky span above price, conversion baseline above price, and above the cloud, and price obviously way above everything, surfing on the top of the 7 simple moving average. So the weekly still has it. So hodlers should still be rewarded based on what we see here. We are looking for another move up, finally find a pop, or at least a large pullback around these areas, around the September. Nothing has changed in regards to that overall analysis. It's still exactly the same. So with that, I'm sorry to report, the same video from yesterday applies. I've got no new information for you. The only new information you'll probably find is that stuff that you'll see about what the escalations, globally. That that will be the defining moment, whether we move up or down immediately, I would say, rather than the charts. The charts suggest bounce and move up, but obviously the charts are only part of the story. They're still an important part of the story, but it's only part of the story. So we'll see, won't we? We'll have to sit and watch and wait to see what's going on when the old men have finished speaking. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.